Today, we're on the verge of another American medical miracle. This is one of the greatest miracles in the history of modern-day medicine. Pfizer and Moderna have announced their vaccine is approximately 95% effective. These vaccines are also very safe. A medical miracle.
Everybody thinks, when they hear, okay, you're going to say lockdown until there's a vaccine. As Bill Gates said, a magical vaccine. They're thinking that, the vaccine's going to do what we've been told vaccines do, which is to give everybody who gets one lifetime immunity and no, major health problems. What are the chances they're actually going to get a vaccine like that? I would say 0. Here's what I predict. I predict you're going to be seeing Bill Gates and Tony Fauci week after week dampening expectations about the vaccine. They were originally saying it's a magical vaccine we're going to give to everybody and everybody is going to be immune. And they're going to say, well, actually only 80% of people will get immune. And then they'll say 70%, and they'll say 50%, and then they'll say 20%. But it's still worth it to have 20%. And they'll try to sell us on that.
Pfizer and Moderna have announced their vaccine is approximately 95% effective. These vaccines are also very safe. A medical miracle.
Pfizer just announced moments ago that its coronavirus vaccine is 95% effective.
Meg, we should point out that Pfizer shares are up by about 3% on this news. Obviously, more good news there.
91%. 90% efficacy rate.
This is a great vaccine.
Great day for humanity, great day for science, great day for the markets. Check this out, because
it's got to be purchased, manufactured, and then there has to be money there for it to be purchased. And so the world needs to put up more money.
Their vaccine's efficacy against COVID dropped from 96% to 84%.
80% effective after just one dose.
Just a single dose.
A reduction of 75%.
Those lines go down.
Which fell below 50%.
You can't even keep up with this because it's moving so quickly.
42%.
30 to 40%.
Vaccine provides just 33% protection.
We know no vaccine lasts forever, so the protection starts to wane a bit, and that's what the boost is all about.
And then they're going to say, well, the vaccine, it's not actually lifetime immunity. Immunity only lasts for 1 year, 1 season, and actually maybe not even that, maybe only 2 or 3 months, and then you have to get another one.
The president and I are vaxxed, and did you get the booster?
Yes.
I got it too. Okay, so...
Don't. Booster, so-called third dose, it is confusing to people.
It really is going to be about focusing on getting that shot just once a year. Much simpler, much easier to do.
Don't worry so much about the number of boosters. Worry about when you got your last booster.
Okay.
Is the CEO of Moderna, Stefan Bancel. What a blowout quarter. Congratulations to you.
Oh, yeah, we definitely think it's going to be like a flu shot. COVID is not going away.
Tuesday.
And that's why we're also working on combining flu and COVID, so it's easier.
You are the COVID company then.
Woody Johnson, a great gentleman. You ever hear of Johnson & Johnson? He owns the place. I tell you what, this guy's got cash like nobody's got cash.
Came up with a vaccine, with 3 vaccines. All are very, very good. The vaccine is one of the greatest achievements of mankind. And if you take the vaccine, you're protected.
It's a great vaccine. It's a safe vaccine, and it's something that works.
I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccine. Not only did we push the FDA far beyond what the bureaucrats wanted to do, we also put up billions and billions of dollars, $10 billion, to produce the vaccines before we knew they were going to work.
And look, I guess in a certain way, I'm the father of the vaccine because I was the one that pushed it.
Thank you, everybody. I look at this crowd, and I see people who want leaders that are not going to lie to them. We want health officials who don't have financial entanglements with the pharmaceutical industry, who care about our children's health and not about pharmaceutical profits or government control. Governments love pandemics. They love pandemics for the same reason they love war, because it gives them the ability to impose controls on the population that the population would otherwise never accept, to create institutions and mechanisms for orchestrating and imposing obedience. People like Bill Gates have been planning and thinking about this pandemic for decades, planning it so that we would all be safe when the pandemic finally came. And yet, now that it's here, they don't seem to know what they're talking about. The one thing that they're good at is pumping up fear. The only thing a government needs to make people into slaves is fear. And if you can figure out something to make them scared, you can get them doing anything that you want. The pandemic is a crisis of convenience for the elites who are dictating these policies. It gives them the ability to obliterate the middle class, to destroy the institutions of democracy, to shift all of our wealth from all of us to a handful of billionaires, to make themselves rich by impoverishing the rest of us. All of us who are here today can proudly say once again, Ich bin ein Berliner, because you are the front line against totalitarianism. And we're telling them today, you are not going to take away our freedoms. You are not going to poison our children. We are going to demand our democracy back. Thank you all very much for fighting.
Did the right thing. We closed the country down.
Could have kept it open. And I could have done what some countries are doing.
I had to shut it down. We did the right thing.
I thought of keeping it open.
And we did just the right thing. We closed it down.
And a group of very smart people walk in and say, sir, we have to close it. And we did the right thing.
What they mean by listening to the science is listening to Tony Fauci and Bill Gates. And Bill Gates and Tony Fauci are saying, you got to stay inside until you get a vaccine. And that's not what they originally told us. They originally told us we were going to stay locked down until they flatten the curve. And in order to avoid an early surge that would overwhelm our medical system in the hospitals, we were going to allow the hospitals to gear up, to get the beds, to get the ventilators, to get the testing kits, to develop protocols, to get adequate therapeutics. And then we were going to release people back into society, back into our jobs, and while isolating vulnerable populations, people with comorbidities, people with chronic disease, and seniors, keep them isolated and protect them, but let the rest of us get the illness. 99% of the people, there is either no effect or a minor effect. And we want to get herd immunity because then we can protect the vulnerable population. We've had a mission creep where Gates has come in, and of course, networks love us all locked in here. You know, the CNN wants us all locked in, and, you know, Anderson Cooper's getting $12 million a year, and what does he care? He's saying we're all in this together. But we're not all in this together. He's still getting paid. Most Americans are not getting paid anymore. And he's getting paid essentially by the pharmaceutical companies who are making all the money right now. And so you have him and Tony Fauci and Bill Gates telling us they locked in. Tony Fauci is a virologist and immunologist. And he has the competence, probably, to tell us, given a number of different scenarios, to model for us how many people are going to get sick, how many are going to die from the COVID, and how fast the disease is going to spread. That's what he's trained to do, and he may be good at it. The problem is he has no competence to tell us how many people are going to be killed by the quarantine. And quarantine kills people too. And that's what I want. I want that risk assessment.
A lot of people have thought about it. Write it out. Don't do anything. Just write it out and think of it as the flu. But it's not the flu. It's vicious. We basically shut down our country. We did the right thing. We had to close it down. The President of the United States calls the shot. We were told we got to shut it down, stop it, tell everyone to stay home because of this horrible virus, and we did that. We had to artificially close our country. We've done this right, and we really have done this right. We did the right thing. Everything.
Is the job of everybody in this crowd to go out and fight back, to resist, 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 and to reclaim our government, to reclaim our lives, to reclaim our liberty for our children, for our country, and for all future generations. And I can tell you this, I will stand side by side with you, and that if I have to die for this, I'm going to die with my boots on.
Bobby. Canada!